又读不到了为什么都会这样？有。对啊，我要当托比了。我要请我们托比大师。他这个截取功能真的没有很好用。感觉以前的 OBS 好像还比较好用一点。继续，我们上次解到哪？我们上次把那个，看一下哦，那个庄园的跟浴场的解完了，我们现在要解皇家植物园的。游戏声音会不会太小声？好像。再调回来，这样应该 OK。新的按键。
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You are early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent?
他们托比大师会跟着去吗？没有呢，可能还不到他出马的时候。上次解的船长是凶手。又来了，忘了切音打。上次我们拿什么啊？哦，银质叉子真棒。好像快结束了这是不是最后一个事件啊？我要去植物园。继续。
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
华正怀疑我们哦，是吧？是不想薪水啦。
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer, and without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens, and that fellow yonder is Albert. He works.
副经理。
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house.
大
We
文
only learned
士
of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glass house.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
还有怀特小姐。
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn,
啊，
he
他死
died
在这
here。just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The 2 of you were good friends?
He was my father.
哦，
Oh
是他
dear.
爸爸
Our
哦。
condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house.
Holmes?
Yes. Just here, near the door to the colonial collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly.
然后就，
It was
然
terrible.
后就，
Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
邓恩死亡的地方。
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
警告
Do not touch.
，Do not touch， 我偏要 touch。为什么这气球看起来这么假？都不会飘。
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
有没有被偷的植物列表了？哇，这要怎么调查啊？开一下 T， 有没有什么可疑之处？兽魔猎人视角没有。
According to
有了
Albert,
有了有了有
this is
了，
where his
叫我
father,
要开
Montague
机啊！
Dunn, was found dead.
兽魔猎人视角，哦，找到痕迹了。碎片，泥土，
Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground. Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here.
有时候我都觉得杰洛特比较像侦探。
The traces are thinner in some places.
小型黑色脚印， 门，损坏的版面，把手。
The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed.
刚换过哦。损坏、破损的门。
The esconsum was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection room.
殖民地储藏室什么
Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent.
清洁剂，我还以为有人在这边上厕所呢。
These windows were perfectly cleaned.
非常干净。啊，不能这样直接拿哦，这是肉眼看得到，还要切四角。石片断裂点。
This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble,
大理
most
石碎
likely
片。
chipped from a statue or sculpture. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
Mm. 通风栅格。
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
看不到这角度。嘿嘿嘿。又要叫我开了。哪里？没啊，那刚才加你啊，刚调查完的、啊，在哪里？啊，这个啦，这个啦，破损的花盆。
This pot was broken fairly recently. A flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced.
这究竟是要制造出什么样的状态呢？脚印我不是看过啊，大型黑色脚印。
These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here.
没了。
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
哦，好多花种哦，连这个都看得到。殖民地储藏室参数。
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
应该破损的牌子写。
This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Blood. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
我需要想象力。 撞门。哦，这样哦。应该就是这样吧。
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
邓恩佩困空置的殖民地储藏室。要验尸了。有其他地方可以去吗？睡莲寺。
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
热带植物参数。
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
哦，热带植物区。感觉好像在秘境探险。
Can I help you, gentlemen?
热带刺。有没有什么奇怪的线索啊？报纸。杂物。
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools. Palm house.
来问一下这个工作的人。红眼刚刚哭过啊，这个是儿子啦。刮胡伤口，干净的双手。你在这里工作吗
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only. For I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
管理学。
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
出来到外面了。
好。According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
还有，点到那个参数表。
According to this, They have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
这边也是睡莲式。
Water lily greenhouse.
哇，这每一次都要等一下。干燥式陈
According to
述。
this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
干
Dry
燥式。
tropics.
哇，真的很干燥，不能看吗？不行。没有工具，华生走过来一点，我要看一下工具门看。不要挡路啊，华生，不能看。花盆。
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
花盆不是皇家植物园的花盆。
Dry tropics.
Hmm. 哎呀，不要挡路啊！走出来了。
There is a smell of burning.
烧焦的味道。 壁炉破损的花盆。
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens. The
相
remains of
框
a picture frame.
防毒面具。
A protective mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn.
要烧没烧起来。植物样本。烧焦的扫帚。
A broom handle was half burned.
门把
A
手。
door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
为什么要烧坏掉的门把手呢？怪怪的哦。哎呀，卡住了！哪里来的野狗在那乱叫啊？皇家植物园地图。
Farmhouse.
办公室。
Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory.
我们还没去过办公室。苗圃。
Nursery. Water lily greenhouse. Colonial collection.
殖民地储藏室。干燥
Dry
室。
tropics.
怎么刚刚这边都有走过了？
Reserve.
从仓库走到这边来，我现在在这里。 还有上面可以调查，等一下再调查过去办公室。种子
Seed house.
通风系统，我们来去看一下通风系统。
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings. A
关注
ventilation
对
system.
象，
It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
这个应该是水塔吧？
A water tank.
对啊，水塔。这边应该就没东西了。看一下兽魔猎人视角，没有。
Seed house. Locked.
哇，锁住了，种子是锁住了。一样是地图。
Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory.
点一点好了，把它点成绿色。
Palm house. Reserve. Water lily greenhouse. Colonial collection. Dry tropics. Ventilation system. Seed house. Nursery.
那这边呢也是锁着吗
？Seed house. Locked.
啊
Nursery. Locked.
啊，苗圃室也锁起来了。我整个都很绿意盎然呢。
Nursery. Locked. Locked.
啊，锁住了。
Locked.
”找副经理谈谈。先看一下他的样子，近视便宜的眼镜。张依林，未婚，脏脏的手，权益人的手。问你一些话。 门钥匙在哪
Would you unlock the doors for us?
Do you expect to find the stolen plants there? I am sorry, but those rooms are private.
不给看。邓恩的死讯。
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
我们应该要去验尸了，讲心脏病突发。 特定场合。我们还有一个什么小姐的还没有出现，没有看到什么小姐。她说还有一个雇植物园的。先去警局看一下。
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
可以进行尸检了，验尸。验尸时间。
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
面部，哇，它长这样哦。
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal.
很正常，鼻子跟嘴。
The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma.
淡淡的芳香。
There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse.
头部没什么问题。胸部
There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy.
手，还有哪里？就剩手了。皮肤
Nothing suspicious here.
没什么特别的。右手
No redness, stings, or bruises. Now, let us examine the internal organs.
内部器官。谁在吹口哨？哦，这么写实哦。这是那个吧，搞得很像那个什么生物教室还是那个健康教室的人体器官的那一只。
The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs.
还可以这样猜。胃部报告。
There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death.
少量早餐，很像你的哦。你的有这么小吗？这就不是了吧？你的应该是黑色的，我都觉得我的是黑色的。
The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs.
新鲜的肝，
The liver is enlarged.
肿大
It
了
would。seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction.
你有没有跟着肿大啊？肺部，我可以这样猜呢。我操！绿绿的，
The lungs are congested and edematous.
水肿。
The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is
毒
damaged,
气所造
most
成
probably
的。
caused by toxins from an unknown plant.
干，真的很像在放人体模型的那个声音呢。哒哒。变成浩克的前兆，我也这么觉得哎。他可能要变身了哦，而且浩克也是一个研究者。心脏组织、心血管，
The heart's blood vessels show
血
no
管没有受
pathological
损的
signs.
迹象。哦，原来心脏是长这样哦。1、2、3、4，1、2，靠腰 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10、11有12，有12根血管哦。
The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs.
没有受损。哒哒。
My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
植物毒杀。
Yes, it is murder.
It
We
is
should inform Lestrade.
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke
Mr.
to Mr.
White.
Hamish. Should we bring them all here for
怀特
interrogation?
小姐。
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson. It is time now to open the doors.
Open
Even
the
those in
door.
the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
Yeah.
More than a little.
收集蒙太古邓恩的信息。来，先看一下线索有什么。毒杀。寻找致死植物。哦，刚刚不是还有一个吗？尸检的那个线索我不见了。现在朝毒杀的方向侦办。那我们去看一下政务室有没有东西。有邓恩的物品，一支笔 ，a man a pen， 会员卡，信，手表。看一下会员卡，这是什么的会员卡？
A membership card for the
伦敦之
London
巅
Crest Club.
哦，紫禁之巅。他不是说发3面金牌吗？怎么变会员卡了？金价太贵，换卡片是吗？致 F 维恩先生，维恩和孩子们，印刷公司的主管。我的朋友用来给皇家植物园展览做宣传的海报很漂亮，但是说真的，没有必要提到全体员工，我的名字就足够了。啊？哦，为什么没有必要提到所有员工？想要自己独揽。
A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
羽毛笔。
This
手
watch is
表
of great value.
价值不菲的手表，而且为什么没给他儿子？是所有人继承吗？好，没了。我们要回植物园去调查。我怎么觉得我的画面卡卡的？是不是 Windows 又在搞我？没有啊，没更新啊。 要来找你啦，副经理。和邓恩的关系。
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression, great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
哎呦，很气哦！邓恩的生活方式。
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed celebrating, shall we say? He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That and he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
哦，所以那个怀特小姐该不会也是介绍进来当秘书的？
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
哎呦，
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunn had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making
哇，
fun
这
of
么
poor
狠
Albert.
哦！
That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who is such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
玛格丽特·怀特，那就是我们的怀特小姐嘛。那人在哪？怎么还没看到？
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming
Part-time.
indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
太年轻了啊，像你讲的年轻。闲置的殖民地收藏室。
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
OK， 一脸痴汉，你是指这个副经理吗？
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
猪笼草。
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now all of a sudden he is trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
哎呦，所以现
Thank you,
在
Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our
现在副
investigation.
经理是跟那个儿子互相在竞争哦。儿子又说他很会管理，副经理又说他不行。你和你父亲的关系？
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man. for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
可能不是哦。
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
你也不知道，副经理也不知道，那他会自己凭空消失，骗鬼！我是儿子，我就给爸爸管理花园，我管理女工。你错了，你刚刚没听到那个副经理讲吗？他爸爸都叫他过来帮忙，他爸爸就去处理女工了。你真的是笨，你这点心思，他爸爸会不知道啊？
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
哎呦，好，你跟副经理的关系。
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens.
Oh?
My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honor of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
怎么没人跟女工关系好？有啊，只是都不想讲出来啊，不然那个动机就很明显了。譬如说，像爸爸跟儿子对女工的关系都很好，然后经理也想参与咖，三个关系都很好，那是不是就变成有动机了？所以没人想讲啊。门钥匙。
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employee's effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man.
不给钥匙。那我要怎么去跟玛格丽特小姐见面？她不是说在种子室，你就把它锁起来。
Nursery.
哎，可以耶。苗圃。没有看到玛格丽特小姐啊，人呢？说好的小姐，工作台海报。
We can see the interior of the colonial collection room from this window.
哦。通风
This is one
设
of the
备。
outlets of the ventilation system.
看一下海报。
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens.
证书。
This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
哦，那很厉害啊！我们的副经理很厉害，厉害的副经理，然后跟这个皇家植物园的 经理的儿子，然后跟皇家植物园经理，然后跟一个女研究生，很厉害的女研究生，马丁·哈米什的书。
A thesis written by Martin Hamish.
眼镜盒。
A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
典型，看起来就很像。窗户，工作台，文凭。
A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
他还有硕士文凭哦。
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year.
这应该都是他的奖状吧？那这个苗圃室就是马丁的那个啦，办公室。
These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery.
照顾得很好欸。雕像。这不是死去的那个经理吗？
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
还有线索。毁损的部分，这不是那个吗？殖民地那个碎片吗？
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this.
使用大理石，完
The
整
marble
了。
fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
哎呦！新种子调查。
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
我们来到种子室了吗？还没吧？他们不是分开的。使用办公室钥匙打开。
Locked.
来吃来一克，又吃来一克。你怎么那么爱吃来一克
Open.
？Open。看到我们的怀特小姐。哎呦，颇有研究的哦。
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room.
这里没办法看得到。
This is one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
航海
A
手
book
册。
about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
手套。
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used.
各国的泡面。
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert. This place serves as Albert's office.
这里是阿尔伯特的办公室，然后他应该是想出国才对啊。还有没有其他东西？没有。玛格丽特。
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful
哎呦
plants here.
看起来蛮漂亮
Why,
的。
thank you, sir, and good day to you too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
真的。
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Yep. 来看一下，昂贵的香水，这样可以看得到香水。哦，诶，为什么红红的？营养失调、皮疹、贫穷家庭，贫也打错了吧？嗯？啊，还有哪里？没有啊，没了。哦，这里哦，未婚是吗？未婚。可怜，整个手红肿。
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
突发事件。
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a
Good
terrible
man.
misfortune.
你在这里工作吗？
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
归安了。与经理的关系是
How
吧？
well
是
did
秘
you
书
know
啊。
Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature.
Oh, yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me.
哎呦，
Although
人前人
he
后
could，behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He
重
loved
女
his
轻
son
男。
dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
你怎么会这么了解？你是不是想当后妈？
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
嗯？清空殖民地储藏室。
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
没
Thank
去
you,
过
miss.
那里。
None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is
Yep.
obvious.
有人说谎哦，大家都说没去过。诶，还有4个格子诶，那应该还有下一个事件。这个世界应该都没人了。皇家植物园的钥匙，除了衣帽间的门不能打开。花盆的符号长哦，这个应该是中国吧？中文字那么明显。S 雕像碎片档案